Hey everyone, welcome to Dave's World. I'm still working on Darren's car. This has been a big job. I've replaced a ton of parts. You should watch all the other videos I've been putting out. Under the valve cover was the valve cover orifice. I did VVTs. I did a vacuum pump. I did a brake vacuum assist sensor. I upgraded the pipe to the metal pipe. I put in a charge pipe. It has an upgraded wastegate. You could see there's a ton of stuff under the hood. Today what I'm doing is swapping out the PCV valves, the positive crankcase ventilation valves. I have a kit on the website called the PCV repair kit. It replaces all three valves, it replaces the Y tube, and then I have a new PCV reroute that catches all the debris that gets into the intercooler system, the turbocharger, the intercooler pipes, and it actually gunks up the valve cover orifice. It's the ventilation valve that's inside the valve cover, which basically what it does is put air into the system. It cycles it through the crankcase, and it meters it to a certain level so the engine can function correctly and it can ventilate the crankcase correctly. You cannot block this off. You cannot remove it. But if you don't have a PCV reroute, it can clog up, which is why, cars pretty much over like 50,000 miles start needing something like this because of the amount of debris that gets into the system. So we have the new version of the PCV reroute. We have the PCV repair kit. The catch can is going to get installed. I'm going to tell everybody how to change them out, change the tube, install the kit. Everything will be in this video, but I have a lot of other videos explaining all these different things when it comes to the PCVs on these engines because they're very sensitive. You can't be blocking things off and messing with them. It has to be done correctly. And my kit's the only one on the market that actually does it correctly to where you don't have performance problems and it actually catches all the debris. I probably have hundreds of these kits out there and they all work awesome. Okay, so I brought everybody into my office. I just wanted to show you everything in my display area so it's easier and looks nicer. But this is the new PCV reroute. It comes with the extra leg. This replaces that plastic tube that goes to the back of the valve cover down to the turbocharger that we cut and send to here anyway, but I get rid of the plastic now and it's pre-made for you so you can just install it. And I'll show you how to put this onto the part that hooks into this valve. The other thing I do, and comment below, let me know if you want me to do this, but these are from GM and they come with these tamper-proof bolts. What I decided to do on this version was change it over to a flange head style bolt. Comment below, let me know if you want me to update the kit to have these bolts instead of these bolts. It's easy enough using the needle nose vice grips, but I figure why not make it easier while I'm in there. The kit also comes with a brand new tube. I'm going to show you how to modify this. So basically this is going to attach right here and then everything lays in place because it's already pre-made for the car. And then I'm going to show you how to put the press fit holder and the canister in. This version's set up for the factory airbox, but I also have a cold air intake version. So if you have like K&N, AEM, ZZP, if you have the Super Cruze's air intake, and if you have the factory airbox or even a custom one, let me know. Or the General Motors performance intake, I can make this kit fit any of them. Just let me know. Well, actually, you have the option on the website anyway, but pretty much if you order the PCV repair kit, I will set you up with a version of this that fits all of them and you won't have to worry about it. I already removed the other two valves because when I did the valve cover orifice, I just broke them off while I was in here. It didn't matter because I knew these were coming off, but I usually use a needle nose pair of locking pliers to get these bolts off instead of using the tamper-proof 5-point Torx. You can usually get these off. So nowadays I've been trying my hardest to put everything in the videos. My older videos, I'd work a little fast because I was just building cars, but now I'm trying to be as thorough as possible. One thing I noticed when I try to help people work on cars is they don't have the same tools as I do. So if you're going to be doing these valves, invest in some needle nose locking pliers because these are your best friend with getting these tamper-proof bolts out. And it doesn't matter. Once you remove the valve, my kit has new bolts on the new valves. Before you install each valve, you'll see that I'm spraying a lubrication on. That's probably WD-40. I think it was PB Blaster. Any kind of lubrication will work, even engine oil. Put it on the O-ring, and you see I'm working it in slowly and trying to get it to go down evenly
So when I tighten up on the new hex head bolt, it'll tighten even and flat and go into the hole without any issue. That's why I was pushing down on it on all sides as much as I could. And you know, you're going to use a 10mm socket, 10mm wrench, whatever you have, but it's much easier now. And then you'll be able to install these with ease.
Okay, so the new kit is going to reuse this fitting. So this valve, you can pull this out. The only thing it's going to break is the clip inside the valve, and then you're just going to cut this off. Usually the whole tube is attached to it. This is the rest of the tube. We're going to cut this off. We're going to reuse it because the new hose just attaches to this. All right, so I added this part in. I'm using Cruze missile because I forgot. I already installed the kit in Darren's car for the PCV reroute, but I forgot to show how to remove the tube from a valve that's already in. So I just threw a valve and a tube in so I can show you how to do it while it's still on the car. It should be pretty simple. You just want to cut across the tube. So you can see now that I removed the plastic tube from the barb, you have a spot to clamp the hose onto, and you're just going to leave that in place unless you're changing this whole valve out. And if that's the case, you want to pull on this really hard to get it removed from the valve so you could swap the valve but reuse this. Okay, so the Super Cruze's PCV reroute already comes pre-assembled. All you need to do is put everything in place. It also uses a press fit holder, so when you want to drain it, you just pull it out. You could spin the bottom off and drain it. This press fit holder is designed to hold it perfectly. It needs to go right here. There's a hole right here on your strut tower that will hold it. I'm going to show you how to put that in now. It's really easy. Okay, so I'm fortunate enough to have a lift in my shop. But for those of you that don't, you can pretty much just jack the car up on the passenger side until the wheels are off the ground, or I'm sorry, the passenger side wheel is off the ground. Okay, I just want to show everyone, if you jack the car up, you could actually see where the stud comes right through, and you're just going to throw the nut on. With the car jacked up, you could actually get a tool on it, no problem. Once the passenger side wheel is off the ground, you can gain access to the other side of this bolt hole. And this is an adjustable height bracket, but it would go through this little hole that's right here. And then from this side, you can actually get the nut on. Right where I'm standing, you can actually grab the other side of this, and you can do it by feel. All right, I actually found it to be a little easier to grab it with my left hand because I'm right-handed. So I actually found it easier to hold it with my left hand and put the nut on with my right hand because I'm right-handed. I just had better finger dexterity because I'm so used to doing things that way. And now I'll show you how to tighten this up. It's really simple. You don't have to do it on both sides. You can do it. You just basically want to slide this up to the height you want. And then from the other side, you want to tighten it up. What you want to do is, I always have long extensions. I have different lengths. You can even put 2 or 3 together if you want to reach that far over. Like if you don't have, like, let's say a 12-inch, you can just put 2 6-inches together. And then you just want to feed an 11mm or 7/16 in and tighten this obviously clockwise. You want to hold the bracket at the same time. Okay, what I'm doing is holding this cup so it's level and just tightening up on the nut inside the strut tower area. Now that the press fit holder is in place, the PCV reroute can now drop into the holder very easily. And now that the reroute is in place, I pre-build everything. So usually you'll have your Y tube here. So what I'm going to do is let's install the Y tube, and then we're going to have to modify this plastic tube. Basically, this plastic tube used to go up here. What goes here now is this. That's the part we cut off. You're simply just going to plug it in now. And then what we want to do is install the Y tube, and then this will hook up to the Y tube now. So this version of the kit, which is the PCV repair kit, comes with a brand new tube if you choose it. And since I put the new valves in already, I'll just be able to plug these in. And once we remove this piece, we'll be able to hook the PCV route up to it. So I have new products on the website. The reason I'm showing you these crazy sharp knives is I use these all the time. All of them are going to come engraved with Super Cruzes now, so even when you get this one, it'll say Super Cruzes on it. These are the sharpest knives I've ever used, and I like them so much I started offering them as merchandise. So I'm about to cut this tube off, and these knives are amazing, and I decided to just grab them real quick and show you how sharp they are, because the very first day I used these, I almost cut my fingertip off. They were so amazing, and I figured my mechanic friends would absolutely love these as well.
Cutting this tube off is pretty simple. You want to go long ways, basically the same direction the line goes, and you want to cut across the ribs. And then what you want to do is take a flathead screwdriver once you cut through and just sort of spread open the plastic. This will get it to remove and pop off, and you want to reuse the Y or T fitting, because I pre-build the PCV reroute for you, and it'll just pop right on. And once it pops on, you just clamp it down and it's ready to go.
I absolutely love these knives. They're live on the website now too. I just decided to throw them in this video because I keep forgetting to actually add them to the website. So before I post this video, these will be live. I'm going to add a little bit more lubrication because it is really cold and these hoses shrink a little bit.
My PCV reroute is specifically designed for these vehicles, and all the hoses are an exact length that they need to be. When the kit is installed, everything is designed to fit exactly where it has to go. The lines are level. Everything is designed to route oil and debris into the oil separator, also known as the catch can, and allow air to come out, cleaning everything and also grabbing all of the debris that would normally be sent into your intercooler turbocharger intake system. And it's designed to work perfectly on these vehicles.
So I removed the airbox just because it makes installation easier, but at the same time I had a lot of work I had to do to this. What I recommend is move the PCV reroute out of the way before you slide the box in. You're going to put the canister back in its holder in the appropriate spot. I'm right-handed, so that was a little difficult for me. Then you're going to plug the exit for the canister into the appropriate spot. And then there's one final thing you need to do, and it's plug off that part. So again, I'm going to take the badass Super Cruzes knife and I'm going to cut the rubber off of this. Be careful, this knife is incredibly sharp. I don't want you to hit anything else under the hood. Obviously, the PCV reroute is installed. I just threw the engine cover back in so you can see how it looks. And then what I'll do is I'll pull this out so you can see how easy it is to use, actually. The cool thing is everything is designed to fit the car. I pre-build everything for you. So once it's all installed and you have the press fit holder in place, it'll just stay here for the life of the vehicle, and it'll collect all of that junk that's always thrown into the turbocharger, the intercooler, it gunks up the spark plugs, it gunks up the PCV system, and this reroutes everything into the canister. And now all you have to do is pull up on it. You can pull the basin out with it, drain everything out, and then put it all back together. And then put it back into the press fit holder, and that's it. Just make sure you check it every once in a while. That way you can see how much stuff is getting in there, and it's good to go. It's a great kit.